Hey everyone, I'm Rather Coherent, and today I'm going to be starting my second playthrough of Elden Ring. On my first playthrough, I missed out on a lot of the story and basically all of the side quests, but I did do all of the bosses as an intelligence build. Originally I went for sorceries, but ended up just playing an intelligence-based katana build because sorceries never really felt good to me. This time through I'm going to be doing all of the side quests, and I'm going to be playing a strength-based build, probably going for ultra great swords. I'm planning on doing a decent amount of invasions and PvP, and we'll figure out exactly at what level thresholds I plan on doing that when we cross that bridge. For now, let's just get into the game, find an ultra great sword to get going. For the build I'm planning on doing, Hero and Vagabond are both pretty close to optimal. It depends on exactly what level range I go for, which one will be better, because as the level increases, I start wanting more things like Faith and Mind. Vagabond is only ever 2 levels behind Hero, and Hero can be as many as 5 levels behind Vagabond, depending on what range we're talking about, though. So I'm gonna go with Vagabond. It's a toss-up, though. Either or. We're gonna quickly load generic mail. Our keepsake is gonna be a golden seed. I don't really see much reason to get anything else. And as always in games like this, I'm using Rain and then some descriptor of the build as my name. Now, even though I am planning on doing all the side quests, I missed them in my first run, or at least missed most of them. I'm not gonna be covering them much in the videos. When I make videos, I tend to edit out small things that other people have likely already seen, and I think most side quests fall within that. Because certainly if I were going to cover all the lore, I'd want to show you like all the conversations that happen in the Roundtable Hold. But I imagine almost everyone has seen them, and I don't want to waste my time going through them individually again. So if I find something super interesting with the quest that's happening, I'll keep it in, otherwise it's going to be getting edited out. And if you're new here, my videos tend to be relatively heavily edited, just as a content creation thing. Also, we're not quite speedrunning, but we are sort of speedrunning. No reason to fight the Grafted Scion and die when I don't have to. Now, the first time through, I did explore pretty much everything, at least until I got to Mountaintop of the Giants. At that point, I was burnt out and I sort of blitzed through the rest of the game. But this time through, I'm going to be going where I feel I need to go to collect the items I feel I need. I'm not going to be spending too much time on exploring random dungeons. I'm going to be going straight through for all the side quests and the bosses and not doing much else. And let's quickly go ahead and add this golden seed and allocate all our flasks to health because, well, we're not a wizard. If we ever use enough of our weapon art to run out, that's going to be surprising to me.
Fortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
Why are you like this, Vare? Right now I'm running over to the bonfire where you get access to Torrent and you can actually start exploring the world properly. And I guess I should quickly lay out my plans for what I'm doing before I get started with any sort of progression. I'm going to quickly run through all of Limgrave, the Weeping Peninsula, which might actually be part of Limgrave now that I think about it, Caelid and Liurnia, picking up the Sacred Tears and Golden Seeds. And the big reason I need to go to Caelid and Liurnia is because in Caelid there is the Great Sword, which is going to be my main weapon, as well as the Sword Seal, which is just tremendously valuable early on. Radagon's Sword Seal, I should specify, there are several. And in Liurnia, in the far north, there is a mine that'll give me access to the ball bearing for level 1 and 2 upgrade shards, which, let's be real, I don't feel like exploring every single mine to upgrade my weapon, and so not using a Somberstone weapon, the easiest and fastest way to do so will be to actually just go get the ball bearings as fast as I possibly can. So my first playthrough, I had all of my flasks on my down D-pad, so I could use all of them with square. This time I think I'm just going to keep it on only the Crimson Tears, and I press down to go to the horse, and I'm going to keep all my other flasks on the contextual menu for holding down triangle. As I run through getting all of these various upgrade materials for my flask and collecting the things I'll need for the build, I'm also going to be doing any side quests that pop up as they come. May as well get box started. We've come all the way down to Fort Height in the southeast for just a little bit ahead of time. Grab this golden seed. Now we're heading back north on the way to more and more flask upgrades. And now, just north of the Mistwood, we're here to pick up the Sacred Tear and the Flask of Wondrous Physic. It is a really cool moment the first time you come down one of these lifts and you see the skybox underground. I still really, really enjoy the scenery here. We quickly backtrack to the first church to pick up our free dogs. Thanks, Ronnie, you're a real pal. But we're also here for other dog-related reasons, because Kale can tell us how to do Blide's quest. Renna, we're done talking. Please go away. Renna, please, I'm trying to do other things.
Before the tarnished tire of the basins to the 2 fingers.
Thank you. Anyway, we heard Blithe in the Mistwood while we've been running around, so we can ask him about the Howling in the Mistwood and go do Blithe's quest. And the reason we're going to be doing Blithe's quest now is because we're heading south anyway. May as well just do Blithe stuff on the way. There's a lot of very easy to get Sacred Tears down in the Weeping Peninsula. Come on out, Blythe. God, he's large. Now, quickly before I continue Blythe's quest, I am just south of Knight Darwell on the cliff, because I do need this large club before the mine I'll be doing in a little bit, and I may as well pick it up now. Oh, that's tragic. And now with our slightly larger beatstick in hand, we can go do Blythe's quest. I think he takes forever to show up, so just pull in the boss now and wait for him. And I'm not really planning on fighting this much myself. I'm pretty sure Blythe can settle this, but I think it's going to be funny if he can.
Darwell, Rottingham's serves no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
Oh wow, that is a ridiculously fast stagger. Why does he deal so much poise damage? Why does everything Blythe do stagger this man? I guess it goes both ways. Also, he hits Blythe kind of hard. Wow, you're not supposed to die here, man. I'm helping, I promise. All told, a tremendously sloppier fight than it should have been, but hey, quest accomplished. Basically, I haven't done anything else in the world. And now we're gonna head south from here into the Weeping Peninsula. There are just so many easy sacred tiers here, I find it hard to justify not doing this. At least on a casual playthrough. I have managed to make platforming so much harder than it should be. Why am I like this? There. Not complicated. I don't know why I was struggling so much to figure that one out. Oh, apparently there's a death bird in these parts. I'm not thrilled about that knowledge. Took me long enough to find it. Here's the reason I'm actually down next to the castle. Just wanted to pick this up. Not even close, by the way. I'm not a fan of the Frenzy Rats, but the Sacred Tier makes it worth it. Another church, another Sacred Tier. And one more church left in the Weeping Peninsula, one more Sacred Tier to get. To quickly recap the path that I've taken, in case you're curious about all these things I'm doing in the early game. From the start, we went north up to the gate front like you normally do. Went up to the Stormhill Shack to get a golden seed there. Went all the way over to the Church of Marika to the Flask of Wondrous Physic and the Sacred Tier here. Got the golden tier, or golden seed rather, down here at Fort Heights. And then we went down here to the Weeping Peninsula. We went to the Kalu Baptismal Church, the Church of the Pilgrimage, and the Fourth Church of Marika for 3 more crystal tiers, or sacred tiers rather. And somewhere around right here, I'm not quite sure where, as I was struggling to find it, there's a golden seed that I picked up as well. Which is enough to get us up to 7 plus 4 flask right off the bat. But we're not done yet. We still need to go into Caelid. The actual weapon I want to use is over there, and we have quite a lot left to do on top of that. We don't actually need anything in this church, just the first actual grace we can hit in Caelid. And unfortunately, we got to fight an invader to get it. I'm not actually sure if I'm able to beat the invader, but I guess that's not actually the point. Yeah, we seem to be fine. I should probably actually dodge her attacks, though. I'm not a fan of the one-hit combos before she rolls out. I guess I can just keep swinging and it works out, though. It's like I'm really playing PvP and they just think I'm going to stop pressing R1. Let's not die now. We pretty much won. Jumping attacks are sometimes not the right choice, as demonstrated by both of us. And now we get to spend a while mashing A to get through all the round table hold text that I've already seen. It's my favorite NPC, the Edgelord. I don't even have to feel bad about mashing through his text, because there's nothing to mash through. Alright, back onto the grind. Let's go continue gathering items. The first thing we need is the actual greatsword I plan on using for the foreseeable future, which is going to be on a wagon in Caelid. and some ruins that are, to my knowledge, not that far into the northwest section. We'll be going a lot further than that anyway, but at least the greatsword itself is easy to find. Oh, actually, this is it already. I think. Yeah, this is the correct dragon. Awesome. The greatsword was not hard to get at all. Unfortunately, I currently cannot wield the greatsword, so we're going to need some more items from Caelid. And again, for anyone wondering where that is, it's just north of the Caelid ruins on that wagon. And I decided that rather than trekking across Caelid to get to my next destination, I'm going to take the teleporter in these Dragonbarrow ruins. Seems like a faster way to go, and I need to get the Salia tunnels eventually anyway. Now, the first time in the game, this was a really surprising moment for me where I was like, oh god. On my future playthroughs, I'm going to make sure I never open this chest early in the game. It was a nightmare to get out of this cave. And now on my very next playthrough, it's like, no, I'm going to intentionally open this immediately. Am I getting killed by rats? Okay. Okay, and now we're in the Salia tunnel. We're not going to actually be getting anything here right now. We're just going to be quickly using this as a way to traverse through Caelid. Unfortunately, I don't remember the way out, just that everything in here kills the shit out of me. May as well grab this if I'm in the neighborhood. Well, that was probably not the right path. I'm alive, though, which is surprising. And the fact that I found this grace, I think, means I'm already done with the dungeon. I can just leave. Alright, we've gone out of the Salia tunnel into the swamp, which is actually exactly what I want to be doing. There is a golden seed here that I need, and it's relatively close to my next destinations anyway. I do think I have to do a little bit of platforming puzzling in this town, but not too much. Yeah, I need to open this pathway. I guess need is a strong word. I don't need to. I'm going to, though. Oh, right, this. These magic boulder traps crack me up, man. Alright, now we're coming up on the Church of Plague right above Salia. It's another one of my main destinations. Another crystal tier down. Another waypoint gotten. I've got stuff I need to do south of this location. However, first I'm going to go to the north and pick up the Sword Seal so that I can finally start using my greatsword. Not that I'm doing any fighting anyway, I guess, but still. And while I'm in the neighborhood, I'll open up the Salia hideaway. I'm not sure how you're ever supposed to figure this one out. Seems a little bit nonsense to me. Alright, and now we're in Greyoll Dragonbarrow, only a small bit away from Fort Feyroth with just 2 items I desperately need in it. I think it's everyone's favorite room. I died an embarrassing number of times in that room my first time through, between the infinite range poison and the very, very high damage grab attacks. But one of our 2 items that we're going to need out of this area is just the Dectus Medallion. I guess you really don't need the Dectus Medallion, but it seems like one of the faster ways to trigger some events in the game. But much more importantly to me is the Sword Seal. Jump through a few things, dodge past the rats. Or run, rather. Not doing a whole lot of dodging, to be honest. And I'm just going to quit out here rather than fight my way back out of this. Now we've worked back to the Church of Rot, heading to the southwest to get the map and 1 more golden seed. Alright, now that I know where I am, I actually had my marker pretty close to where I needed to be, I think. I think it's just southeast of me near a fork in the road. Yep, right ahead of me. Unfortunately, there's still 1 more golden seed out of Caelid that we'll need. But to get there, we won't be going to Caelid. We're going to be heading back in to Limgrave. I suppose let's finally equip the greatsword, though. Our stats might be insufficient, but the Sword Seal is going to help us out with that. We should be able to two-hand this now. Oh no, we're actually still short something. I need 1 more level of strength. Well, club it is, I guess. And the reason I suddenly care about my weapons was we actually are fighting something. We're going to go kill the Tibia Mariner real quick to progress Dee's quest and warp to a different part of Caelid for 1 more golden seed. I have no idea what this weapon art actually does, so let's figure it out. Well, I still don't know what the weapon art did. I should probably read its description, but just hitting her with the R1 seems pretty decent. Thanks for helping out, Tibia Mariner. But yeah, unfortunately for Boat Guy, he's not much of an actual boss. I probably still have to hunt him down one more time, though. Oh. Well, maybe I don't, then. Yep, that's it for them. It's a real boss, guys, we promise. It's so weird to me that D warned you specifically about this undead enemy, because it's not a threatening mini-boss. It's one of the softest mini-bosses in the game. Regardless, though, that'll progress his quest, and we can warp up to the Beast Clergyman, who we will eventually be buying a lot of stuff from if we go to a higher level bracket. And from the Third Church America, we just need to head very slightly north into the back of this pond to take his teleporter. Unless I'm going crazy. Nope, I haven't. This is the correct location. And now we're in a very different part of Greyoll's Dragonbarrow. And I believe we have enough souls from killing that boss that we can actually upgrade and use this sword. Can't imagine 3,000's not enough at this point in the game. I'll be taking 1 level of strength just to equip the sword, and then everything else into vigor, because vigor is just such an important stat at super low levels. Time to be super embarrassed if I still can't equip the sword, though. Nope, did my math right, we're good. Then we get started with your Ox quest. Begin learning how to do muscle magic with the Clawmark seal. But that's not the real reason we're here. The reason we're here... Can I equip this? Is it weightless? Because if I can, I may as well. Nope, 1.5 weight, unfortunately. So I won't bother equipping it just yet. Oh, do I fat roll with this? I didn't actually think to check. I totally do. Well, I have no real alternatives to fix that, so I guess I'll be taking off my gloves. My hat, then? Both. Unfortunate. But if we head south just a little bit, we can get another golden seed. And unfortunately, we're still not done. Yet more things to gather. Let's head to Liurnia now. Well, that was satisfying, if nothing else. There's actually a slight detour before we go to Liurnia. I've realized that I don't have any interest in the weapon I already currently have, so I'm going to head east to the Warmaster Shack and pick up... What is it called? Warcry? We'll see how that works. If nothing else, the flat 10% damage buff will be nice. I could also get Parry, which I think I can put on my weapon. Can I afford both? All right, let's see if you can put Parry on greatswords, because the wiki said any weapon on that, and I thought that was strange and probably bad, but if it's true, that's actually really funny. Yeah, no, the wiki can say any weapon all at once, but you can totally not put Parry on this. I can, however, put heavy on it. Does heavy even worth my time? No, heavy is actually very marginally worse because my strength is so low right now. That's quite funny. But man, there sure is a lot of horseback riding when you're replaying this game for a second time and not just stopping to explore it and fight every single thing. Anyway, we've now made it to Liurnia of the Lakes. Another church, another sacred tier right at the start of the Crystal Lakes, or Liurnia of the Lakes, rather. I don't know why Crystal is stuck in my head right now. Down in the Academy Gate Town, we've got another golden seed to pick up, and we are almost done with the run around at this point. And finally, at long last, I have made it to my destination. The last bit of my run around before we can finally get started. I'm up at the mine in Northeast Liurnia where you can get ball bearing number 1 for basic smithing stones, because I'd rather do that than go through several different mines to get the upgrade materials that I would otherwise need. And it looks like going into the dungeon we're at 8 plus 6 flasks, which is a kind of a large amount. The R2s on this thing are incredibly slow. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but dear lord. Does a stamina bar of R1s even kill these guys, though? It might be time to not fight them. It's a little bit much. Jumping attacks for poise breaks might be a much better play as well, because that was atrocious. All right, let's see if jumping attacks are any better. Well, that's sort of better. Not really an idea I can do every time, though. All right, let's see if this works. I don't know that I have any good plans against multiple enemies. I mean, it's passable. Like, it's a way to kill them. But it is not a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and just start running past everything at this point. Actually fighting them seems like a terrible plan. I don't actually know where my objective is in this mine, though. I've been through so many vaguely similar mines that I couldn't tell you which is which off the top of my head. Oh, there's a lot more of those out there than I was expecting there to be. Alright, this is most definitely the way I need to be going, I think. Ow. Sir, you really don't want to be on here with me. Just gonna leave him be. I don't feel like he's worth my time. You know, at some point it does occur to me that I have no idea where my objective actually is. I'm gonna wait for all of those to wear off before I start moving, because I have learned my lesson in the past. I say as I run into them immediately. I probably should also just be generally more conservative with my flask than I'm being. Well, this mine sure goes on a lot longer than I was hoping it would. I found more mining stones, but not what I was actually looking for. Here's hoping this is progress. No, this is a quit out, actually. Because I am going to get absolutely murdered running back out of there. And coming back in, I'm switching over to my hammer because the boss of this dungeon is a Crystallian. The whole reason I got this weapon was because I wanted to make it much easier for myself to beat this boss. And the elevators never cease, do that. That works, I guess. Alright, we've made it to the boss. We have 3 S's left. That's honestly more than enough. It's not a hard boss at all. At least not with a blunt weapon. I should hope. Alright, you do your thing. I'll just be waiting for you to calm down. Oh, they still don't stagger initially, though. They do take full damage. I assumed it would stagger them. I've never actually used a blunt weapon on these guys before now. This actually doesn't make as much of a difference as I thought it would then, since they're not being staggered by the initial hits. But at least I've done like half of its health bar in the process of staggering it as opposed to almost nothing. Well, I'm glad I managed to avoid damage, but didn't actually hit him back, which was the whole point of this. Poor Crystallian, man. It did not deserve this. I've traveled the world just to murder him. But that's it for this dungeon, and we can finally start making progress on other things. So I'm not going to use the ball bearing to purchase upgrade materials just yet. I don't want to trivialize the early game content, but I will use whatever smithing stones I've already found to upgrade my weapon. Which I think only gets me to like +1. Yeah, almost nothing. And I'm fat rolling. Like you do. Alright, and with the meager amount of souls we have, we'll be taking 1 level up. We'll be taking our +1 Great Sword into Castle Morn. This, in my opinion, is the easiest area in the game, even easier than Margit. Which is why I'm going to be doing it first before I upgrade anything. I'm also going to be doing Margit before I upgrade anything as well. By which I mean before I spend souls on the ball-bearing items and massively upgrade my items. Ah yes, dogs, my favorite enemy. I can't actually use R1s to hit these guys because I'm rolling or jumping, which is a little bit silly. I'm not so sure I want to fight anyone in this courtyard. I think I'm just going to leave. I do want this item, though, I guess. And if I remember correctly, the side quest area is actually back here, so I need to go this way. And I'm probably going to get myself killed by this pumpkin head, seeing what this item is. Yeah, it is an item I care about. Oh, they're not friends. Well, that fight went very well for the Pumpkinhead and not so much for whatever he was fighting. All right, this guy needs to go down before his friend gets up the ladder, which is no problem. The sword makes quick work of them. So yeah, this is precisely why I didn't upgrade my weapons more. Even at only +1 from like the starting equipment that you get, this is still easily enough to deal with these guys. Coming in here with like a +6 weapon would be gross overkill and sort of ruin the challenge of it all. I'm not a big fan of this. I'm not sure if I can actually reliably hit these guys with jump attacks. Feeling a little bit bad about my odds. Alright, I can hit them if they play badly. Yeah, it works eventually. And I think there's a ladder here, yeah. Not that I need to take the ladder, that's barely a fall at all. This poor guy. Oh, I guess he's dead then. Sorry, we're still not on the same side. I know better. And I believe this is... I forget all of their names, but this is a quest I need to follow up on. Alright, small amount of wandering later. Not quite sure where I am, but I think I'm making progress towards the boss of the area. I've definitely jumped off random paths that I haven't jumped off before, but I think this is the ladder towards progress. It's definitely the ladder towards a brawl, that's for sure. Time to run in and start swinging wildly. That's what strength builds do. He knows. Oh, I didn't even see him. Just keep pressing R1, it'll work out in the end. I think that's the first time I got that had anything to do with summoning. And while I do like purple items, I don't think I've made my way to progress, unfortunately. These guys do not stand a chance against the greatsword moveset, apparently. They're just too frail and too easy to stagger. And too slow, that's the big one. There might still be progress this way, we're still going up. Yeah, we can drop off over there, and I think that leads to behind the castle, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, I've been here. That doesn't mean it's wrong, though, it just means I've messed up in the past. We need to drop off on the right, that's the issue. I say we need to drop off on the right, and I was confident in that when I said it, but I swear to God I'm running in circles. Well, evidently not, because I haven't seen this man before. Otherwise, he'd be dead. And this ambush would have already been triggered. These just don't really do that much damage. This really is an area meant for level 0 characters. Thought I was here a little bit early, but evidently I'm wrong about that. Okay, here we go. This is the jump off to behind the castle. Took me way too long to figure it out. Another point of vigor, and we continue onward. At this point, I more or less remember the castle. There's not a whole lot here of worth to me anyway, so I'm just gonna go straight for the boss. Provided I don't die during jumping puzzles, of course. Alright, we're good. Now we just need to survive the rats. And we're home free. So, let's go die to the boss I can jump. As I recall, this is just about one of the only bosses in the game that has an actual corpse run, which is very weird to me. Alright, let's see how it goes. I don't think this is going to be anywhere near bad, because I'm pretty sure he staggers the big weapons. I say as I get basically one shot. And then just forget to press the dodge button. It's a rough showing for our first boss. Alright, yeah, the rolling stab does stagger him out of his attacks. Yeah, I don't think he stands much of a chance, for I don't throw the fight and just kill myself instantly. Like that. That's the exact sort of thing I'm worried about. Not actually heal opportunity when he shouts. No stamina, probably just killed myself. Very close to dead, but not. Unfucking fortunate, just stuck on terrain. And panicking because of it. The panic's the real bad part more than the terrain. Alright, this is seeming like a very easy second try kind of boss. I almost feel like I'm over-leveled despite showing up with almost nothing to my name. Not even a frame, apparently. I should have just rolling attacked. I don't know why I didn't. God, it's brutal. Why is he just unequipped to handle jumping attacks with this weapon? Yeah, that's greedy as hell. I should not be running myself out of stamina. It's fine. Doesn't know what to do about it. Yeah, that made it look embarrassing to die once. Poor guy. Try not staggering to R1s, I guess. Alright, at this point, I feel entirely comfortable upgrading to much higher numbers. The reason for that is I could just as easily use the Grafted Blade Greatsword. And to get this to +4, the equivalent to a +10 or so normal weapon, I literally just need to walk approximately here, wherever E.G. the blacksmith is. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to go fight Margit, at least, before I upgrade the weapon. Because I don't want to trivialize him. He's a very fun boss when you fight him at an appropriate level. I will spend the whole level up that boss gave me on Vigor before I go in, though. I'm going to be honest. Margot pretending his name is Margit is one of the sillier things in the lore of this game. All right, let's go. Way too early on that roll. I have enough health. I don't have to heal immediately, though. Apparently, Discord's not interested in being in streamer mode, despite allegedly being in streamer mode. Well, hopefully no important details come through in that. This feels not like a great attempt so far, but fine. Definitely should not have R1 there. Or just panic rolled backwards. I have so much healing, though, that I have a hard time imagining I don't first try this. There is a follow-up to that charge. I need to remember that. This is not safe. Why am I using jumping attacks? The recovery on those is so long. You know, is it a panic roll if I know it's wrong and I just keep doing it because I don't know what else to do? Yeah, that's the definition of a panic roll. I don't feel great about my openings with this weapon. It's so slow. Like, I honestly feel if I were dual-wielding Ultra Greatswords, I'd have about the same openings. I'd just be hitting twice. I needed to roll again. Not actually safe. Just going to die, aren't I? Yep. I just don't know his timings, because it's been so long since I fought him. He's got literally 5 different weapons and a couple different attacks with each of them. There's so many different timings, and I have memory of it's just trash. Got to relearn them a little bit. Alright, take 2. And I've just remembered that Warcry is actually what the current All Bosses speedrun is using. I want to see what this Hold R2 move actually does on like a weapon where it's being used correctly. Nothing. So it looks like by move swapping it onto the wrong weapons, it's actually hitting several extra times. It's fine. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Oh, Warcry's literally worn off, so it's not even doing anything. Alright, that is the second time I've done the Warcry R2. I think I'm good. I feel like I no longer need to experiment with it. We're just gonna play Unlocked like I'm comfortable doing. I hope it's not a terrible experience for viewers, but I feel like playing Lock-On against Margit is just not how I work. That was way too early. Worked out in the end. For some reason I thought I was doing the uppercut. Yeah, I did not know you go under that. Is it hammer? No, we're right before phase 2, apparently. I think I'm gonna get hit for doing this, but it's fine. Now it's hammer. I wonder if I should be using, like, charged R2s there instead of the stagger. 590 is a lot, and I'm at full stamina, so probably not. I think if I get all the way away, he'll just knife me once and it'll be fine. No, or do nothing. Now, this is going much better than first attempt. Even though I spent the first, like, 2 S's of the fight trolling trying to use the Warcry. Speaking of, let's yell. It still does get bonus damage, even if it doesn't do anything else. Oh my god, I do have time to get 2 rolling R1s off during that. Well, you win some and you lose some. Nope. The range in the jumping guard one just isn't what I want it to be. I was not at all ready for, like, the jumping attack and just sort of panicked a bit. Not a heal window. What am I doing with my life? Alright, we're good. God, that feels good, though. Maybe nothing else about the Greatsword feels good, but that feels good. Ah. Nope, still just rolling and failing. That's fine. Just an opening. Provided I don't mess up my rolls. Oh, no follow-up. I guess I was slightly out of range and I have to be rolling into him to get him to follow up. Alright, so I think this is hammer and kill. Nope, this is hammer, then fuck up the roll. Good chick. Good chick. Alright, so that's like a very, very easy one. I've got Margit down enough. All we need is one more proper attempt where I don't, like, use 2 S to seeing what Warcry does and finding out the answer is nothing. And then choke at the end. Ah, damn it. If I hadn't locked on, I'd have walked under him. Just barely too slow within stored roll, or queued roll, rather. I'm just panic rolling because he's so slow and I don't remember what attack it is. Could be literally any time, even now. Yeah, the double rolling R1s feels very good. Ah, just very slightly too slow. I thought I had it. The Greatsword feels so weird. I feel like I have one attack. Not an opening. On the great big list of not an openings, that might be at the very top. God, the recovery time on every attack is just so long. I think that was too slow again. Nope, just barely. God. The amount of slow that some of these attacks are. I just don't have his timings down at all. Or the frames, apparently. Jesus. Right, that's just an opening. Don't choke this time. Alright, we finally dodged an attack instead of just getting hit when the greatsword's going off when he started a combo. Come on, do something. That's sadly hitting me. Did I ever stagger in this fight? Oh god, frames. Oh, I can't dodge a jumping attack if this is happening. Okay, we're fine. Despite severe frame drops, we're fine. I'll probably lower my settings a little bit because it might be recording that's making it worse. Or it could be the new patch, who's to say. But that's Margit down. Definitely a super sloppy fight. If I hadn't gotten a load of S's before this, I'd have definitely died. I have so much room for error with this many flasks. It is a far cry from hitless. And I guess we'll be using these souls all into vigor, because why not have even more room for error? Once I get to about 1,000 health, I'll probably switch over. And now that I have a second ring slot, I think I'm going to make a detour back and go pick up the Erdtree's Favor. It will, of course, be costing me my 1 Stone Sword game. Actually, it'll be costing both of them by the looks of it. Brutal. Unfortunately, entering this poison-filled hellhole does cost me 2 of my Stone Keys. I will definitely not be fighting the boss at the end of this. The tree spirits are obnoxious at the best of times, and being under-leveled, I have no interest in it whatsoever. Okay. Oh, hello. Alright, once it turns around, I'm going to drop down and run the other way. If I have to kill this man, I do. Don't have any frames, but I did get him. And now I believe to get the Erdtree's Favor is fall off the edge here. Well, that implies that's not where you fall off the edge. But it totally is. He just ran too far forward, I'm guessing. I should have done the rolling stab. Oh, you're alive. Okay. As I recall, there are going to be a pair of revenants that spawn down here, and I'm just not about that life. I'm going to grab the key and run, I think. Or get baited by the flame pillar. Theoretically, I could try to fight these guys, but I believe there's literally no reason for me to do this. I don't really want to lose 2,000 souls, but like 2,000 souls is nothing. I just want to get out of here faster. Let's be real. I realize now I probably should have leveled up endurance instead to try to wear more armor. I do have one more thing I want to do before I end the video, though. I want to go do box quests, or at least start box quests, which means I need to go kill a couple of demi-humans and return his sewing kit to him. Oh, I don't have a lantern yet, though. Let's make this a little bit hard. Let's see how much light I have in here without a lantern. If you're not in a bright lit area, I'm not interested in fighting. See you boys around. Okay, yeah, they've got plenty of fires in here. Yeah, he saggers. Sometimes. But I need all of you guys to fuck off. Yeah, they're just not doing enough damage. Like, this doesn't really feel like a boss. I think I was over-leveled. I really like his animations. He's very goofy. Also, is it intentional that you don't have to fight them both at once? The fact they have 2 health bars implies I'm supposed to be fighting the other one, but both times I've done this, he just hung out in here. God, it's just brutal. Alright, it's about time something went 40 for me in this fight. Man, how did you lose so badly to this, Bach? The good news, though, is I can finally have Bach mend my cape. Because, honestly, this cape does not do it for me. He's so wholesome, and I love him, but I'm very worried he's going to die, like Souls NPCs have a nasty habit of doing. It's gonna be heartbreaking for me. There's a bunch of other little things in terms of side quest and Limgrave that I'll be doing next episode. But one relatively large one I want to do now is just the dragon fight for... I forget his name. Yura? The Bloody Finger Hunter. I'll knock this out as well to have done most of the boss fights in Limgrave beyond Stormveil on this episode, and we'll call it a day. I was pretty burnt out on fighting dragons by the end of my first playthrough because I was just like fighting all the random dragons you found around the world. Aside from story-related dragons and boss dragons, I'm probably going to be skipping all of them in this playthrough. Because I have fought so many of these things at this point. I do not know which way this swings, apparently. Down is the answer. Alright. Let's see if I can get back into the groove of fighting dragons, because I've been just like taking tail swing hits constantly. Getting hit by this stomp is borderline unacceptable. What am I even doing? Stay towards the tail, can't get hit by the fire breath, or the lunge, whichever it is. Man, I'm bad. Is the head a weak spot, or do I deal 156 no matter where I hit him? The head is a weak spot. Cool. I guess I'll keep trying to hit him in the head then. Ah, not quite fast enough. When fire knocks out Torrent, it just absolutely murders you. I was wondering what I was stuck on. I'm doing surprisingly little damage with this. Like, it's not a problem. Like, it's not a problem, but compared to how slow the horseback moveset is, I expect to deal a lot more damage, and I just don't. Sorry about that, Torrent. I think that's the lunge then. I don't know, the damage here is bolting. Sorry about that, Torrent. I needed you as a shield. It was, in retrospect, entirely wrong. Oh no, crab, don't get involved. Alright, I guess the dragon didn't want to deal with the crab then. It's a dragon fight that just will not end, isn't it? God. I'm swinging it so slowly and it costs so much stamina to do. That's the lunge. Lunge again. Finally. I've never had a dragon fight go on that long, I feel like. I'm gonna be honest, the moveset for that fight felt kind of terrible. I don't feel great about fighting dragons with this weapon. At least on horseback. On foot, it's a different story, I'm sure.
Beautiful work. Felling that dragon.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty down on it.
There's something.
Anyways, that's it for me. I'll see you next time when we rush through the Stormvale Castle and deal with our first demigod. I've been Rather Coherent, and I hope you enjoyed the video.